Jeremy, you just had your braces off today
hmm
with your new smile, and I remember you actually had direct-to-consumer aligners beforehand. Can you just remind me why you actually came to us?
So my teeth weren't totally straight from the direct-to-consumer aligners that I had before. Um, they did straighten my teeth. There's no two ways about it. They did straighten my teeth. However, there was not enough room in my between my teeth to actually get them fully straight. Um, Through a little bit of word of mouth, a little bit of own research, uh, Invisalign did appear to be the best option with the best results. Um, Although it's a slightly more pricey version of what I've had before and what other places can offer, it did seem like a lot of people were pointing me in that direction. So I went over, came here, had my consultancy. Was very happy with the service and just felt involved with the whole thing. It wasn't. It was everything's been about me. Everything's been about what I want out of this, not what you guys want out of this. Or here's your liners, crack on. Um, or just sort of left my own devices. Although there is a large element of that with this, um, there are areas that people get given the aligners. You get told to go away, take photos, and um, carry on with your day to day. But there is there is an element of we have to keep the control. You guys keep the control as well, and I always feel like that there was that support level there as well if I ever needed it. So yeah, basically, to cut a very long story short, it was mainly word of mouth, um, but through basically their own research as well to figure out what I wanted really. Yeah.
Thank you. And if you were to sort of compare the previous system where you actually didn't see a dentist compared to this led by the dentist treatment with Invisalign, what did you feel was sort of the biggest difference that you felt yourself? Was it about aligners or where did you feel was the biggest difference?
There's quite a few big differences. First of all, the aligners fit. There isn't any, having to get a nail file the back of them down. There isn't any, you know, it's in my gum. It wasn't. There was none of cutting it. It was fit to purpose. It did the job. They were painful, obviously. There was going to be, but after the first few weeks, a couple of liners in and out, it was absolutely fine. Um, with the direct-to-consumer aligners that I've had previously, it was a different story. You couldn't really talk them in. Didn't feel confident wearing them, um, and the overall feel of the product was just completely different. Um, so the main thing though is the confidence behind the end product, knowing that with the previous versions, they just give you them, and then they don't really care about what the end product is. They might get in touch with you to say, can you take a photo to see what the end result is? But after that, you don't hear anything back. You kind of get the impression that perhaps the result isn't quite what they wanted it to be because they haven't contacted you back, and they're just sort of like, oh, leave you to it. Um, but it's fair to say when I did the direct to consumer version before, I did one round of I did one round of them. I can't remember the exact timings, but I did one round and then wasn't happy with the result. Sent photos off. They agreed to send me some new aligners as top up. Went through that round, and then 3 rounds later, I still wasn't happy with the end product, which is why I came here. Um, but I don't think it was ever going to get any better from what we were doing. We were just going over and over the same thing. But yeah, there are quite substantial differences, but the main one is just the confidence in what you are going to get. it's the confidence of paying that little bit more to get what, as I say, I want out of it, not what you know you guys want out of it.
Thank you. And you mentioned sort of remote monitoring. We also used remote monitoring with Invisalign for you as well. Did you find there was a difference between that and what you've known previously?
No, it was great. I feel like that could do with a little bit of fine tweaking. I, f- I just think like the gallery option and with Invisalign, so some of the remote monitoring in the apps could be a little bit more like, even if it's the case of like you post a photo and then you guys like it, to know that you have seen it and it is moving in the right direction, or like even just a template as to where you want your teeth to be, so you can get all the photos exactly the same. Because sometimes you've got one a little bit further out, a little bit further in. You don't really know what you're doing when you're taking a photo of your own face with it all being pushed back. So like little fine tuning like that would be fine. But the reminder was great. The reminder, I'm second to none. I know I put one in my calendar anyway, but it was always good to know, if you just lost track of the week or 2 weeks, if you're on that cycle, to know, right, okay, now's the time, crack on, go brush your teeth and get a new aligner in.
Brilliant. And if you were to sort of sum up difference between something that's monitored by a dentist and something where you never see a dentist, could you sort of sum that up in one sentence?
If I'm honest, no, there is no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. It's a totally different thing which is trying to do the same job. One works, one doesn't. In my case, anyway, one works and one doesn't.